Good morning, Black America. Grand Rising, beloved. I'm Crypto Stock Markets, and here's what's moving the market today. In 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine, and the United States and its allies flipped the switch. Russian banks were removed from parts of SWIFT. Visa and Mastercard suspended operations inside Russia. That was not symbolic, that was structural power in action. It showed the world something very clearly. If the global financial plumbing runs through you control who gets the water. That moment changed how governments think, not emotionally, strategically. Since 2022, Vladimir Putin has repeatedly called for reducing dependence on the US dollar. He has openly promoted expanding trade in national currencies, strengthening settlement inside BRICS, building alternative payment systems, creating non-Western financial infrastructure. Russia accelerated its MIR domestic card system. China expanded CIPS as an alternative cross-border messaging rail. BRICS nation increased bilateral trade settled outside dollars. This is documented policy direction. The world watched 2022 and saw leverage. And when countries see leverage used, they build insulation. Now let's talk about Europe. Europe did not give speeches. Europe built infrastructure. They launched WERO, spelled WERO, pronounced WERO. It is operated by the European Payments Initiative. WERO is not a card network. It is not layered on top of the American rails. It is direct bank-to-bank instant settlement. Here's what that means in practice. Funds move within seconds. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no batch clearing, no settlement delay. Users can send money using a phone number or email identifier. No long IBAN numbers, no third-party wallet dependency. It is built directly into existing European banking apps. Authentication is biometric or secure app confirmation. Settlement finality is immediate. And here is the feature that changes the game. Instant refunds. If a merchant processes a return, funds go back immediately. Not 3 days, not 7 days, immediate. That improves liquidity flow for consumers. That improves cash cycle management for merchants. That reduces chargeback friction. That lowers operational drag. That is not cosmetic innovation. That is structural efficiency. WERO is also expanding into e-commerce checkout, point of sale retail, small business settlement, freelancer payments, which means merchants can bypass card interchange fees. That keeps more revenue inside European banks, more inside European infrastructure, less flowing through American financial rails. That is deliberate design. Now let's quantify this. Visa processes roughly $14 to $15 trillion annually. MasterCard processes around 7 to 8 trillion. They earn revenue on small percentages of massive value. 1% of trillions is billions. If European domestic payments gradually migrate to WERO over the next 5 to 10 years, American fee capture declines. Even small percentage shifts compound. Revenue erosion leads to leverage erosion. Because payment rails are not just about fees, they are about control. Sanctions work when transactions move through infrastructure aligned with U.S. jurisdiction. Financial influence works when clearing runs through American linked systems. If settlement stays inside Europe, U.S. leverage shrinks at the margin, not collapse. Margin. Margins compound. Now add another layer. Recently, the U.S. Treasury sanctioned a Russian-linked operation accused of financing trade secret theft using cryptocurrency. Now that matters because crypto represents parallel settlement rails. When value moves outside traditional banking systems, enforcement friction increases. Crypto does not eliminate U.S. influence, but it complicates it. So the architecture now looks like this. Europe builds WERO, Russia accelerates MIR, China expands CIPS, BRICS increases non-dollar settlement, crypto offers parallel global rails. Each system reduces dependency. Dependency equals leverage. Less dependency equals less leverage. This is not emotional analysis, it is infrastructure analysis. The United States remains the most powerful financial system in the world. The Treasury market is unmatched in liquidity. The dollar still represents the largest share of global reserves. Wall Street anchors global capital markets. Silicon Valley leads artificial intelligence. Those pillars are intact. But dominance does not disappear in explosions, it erodes in percentages. The dollar once accounted for more than 70% of global reserves. Now it sits in the high 50s. That is diversification. If over the next decade more trade settles outside dollars, more payments bypass American rails, more digital value moves through crypto, then U.S. leverage softens. Leverage is one pillar of superpower status. Superpower strength rests on currency dominance, capital depth, technology, leadership, military alliance, and institutional trust. If currency dominance weakens gradually, borrowing costs adjust gradually. If borrowing costs rise, deficient financing tightens. If deficient financing tightens, fiscal flexibility narrows. Economic pressure concentrates at the bottom first. That includes marginalized communities. That includes ours. That is why this matters. Now, here's what everybody is waiting for. What is the move? The move is positioning inside strength while it remains strength. As long as the dollar dominates, dollar-denominated assets matter. As long as the U.S. capital markets remain deepest, equity exposure matters. As long as American technology leads AI and infrastructure, those sectors matter. At the same time, multipolar finance means selective diversification matters. Watching alternative rails matters. Understanding settlement innovation matters. Monitoring crypto infrastructure evolution matters. This is not about choosing sides. This is about understanding transitions. Europe made a disciplined move. WERO strengthens their internal system. It reduces vulnerability. It captures more domestic value. It reduces reliance on U.S. card networks. That is intelligent policy design. The United States still leads, but leadership requires reinforcement. Financial power is transitioning from centralized dominance to disturbed architecture. The timeline is decades. Positioning happens in years. Those who understand structural shifts early build advantage. Those who ignore them react late. Good morning, Black America. I'm Crypto Stock Markets, and that's what's moving the market today.